Hi, this is George Miller from the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, and today we're talking about the Pryor Mountains in the northeast corner of the Bighorn Basin. And the Pryor Mountains are divided into two big pieces, Pryor Mountain and East Pryor Mountain. The highest elevation is about 8,800 feet, or 2,700 meters. We can see here in the foothills, the land is sloping up, and we see some familiar rocks here, so old sedimentary rocks, that are younger than the top of the mountain because the top of the mountain is made of limestone, and limestone doesn't erode as quickly as some of the other sedimentary rocks in this area. You can see the uplift, and that's a result of the laramide orogeny that we've talked about before, that mountain building phase of the Rocky Mountains about 70 million years ago. And here's those limestone cliffs, and we know something about limestone. It's deposited in ancient seas. This particular group of limestones, the Madison Formation, was deposited some 350 million years ago. Well, here we are on the northern end of the Pryor Mountains, and you can see how lush it is. That's because there's lots of water, but very few streams. Because limestone, as I said before, does not erode as quickly as some other sedimentary rocks. So this water doesn't really run off, it soaks in. Now, limestone is permeable in water, and it will also form caves, and we'll see one later. Well, there's our old friend, the arrowleaf balsam root. And that arrowleaf balsam root we saw over in the Bridger Mountains. But here it's mixed with larkspur. As we come around the south side of the mountain, we see it dries out a little bit, and we see our old friend sage. Now, the sage is usually in drier environments, and it runs all the way right up to the conifer forest. So this is a very interesting area. So many wildflowers. It's kind of one of the things that the Pryors are known for, and that's all based on that limestone geology. Well, here's one of those caves I was talking about. This is called Big Ice Cave. And as I said, limestone dissolved by water can really carve out these caves. And we're going to go down into the cave. And I was always looking at the roof because I'm not a real big fan of caves. So I'm kind of watching the roof to make sure that everything's stable there. And look what I found. Can you see it? There under this ledge is a bird's nest tucked up under that. What a great place to be tucked up under, out of the weather, and it looks pretty moist down there. So as we continue down into the cave, you can see that the floor of this cave is filled with water, and that water has frozen. So this is Big Ice Cave because the floor is frozen. And look what's happened as that water percolates through the limestone. It just freezes and it forms stalagmites and stalactites, only made of ice instead of mineral. Well, here we are safely back above Earth, and this is pretty much right over the cave. And you can see it's a very lush environment. That water soaks in slowly into the earth, and these trees and foliage can capture the water before it runs off. Very few streams coming out of the Pryors. Well, here's the pasque flower all the way up on top. Now, this is a very windy area on top. It's called Head Vista. And at Head Vista, all we see are really little flowers like this growing. They were about to bloom. We got there a little bit early, but it's a really amazing place. High up, you can still see the snows here. And from Head Vista, we get a view off the eastern side. So those big blocks of limestone have been lifted up in the air, and it's 5,000 feet down to the floor, or 1,500, more than 1,500 meters down to the Bighorn River. And the Bighorn is what separates the Bighorn Mountains from the Pryor Mountains. And we can look off to the east, and that's actually the beginning of the Great Plains. This is the last little bit of the Rockies, except for the Black Hills to the east. And we can see forever up here. Well, it's been fun bringing you through a little tour of the Pryor Mountains and the limestone formations that make it such a unique place. We'll see you next week. From the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, please like and subscribe if you enjoy this series. Thank you.